Good evening, this is the Oscar Expert here with Brother Brown. It's time for Best Supporting Actor and Supporting Actor predictions for November. Supporting actress, help me out here, buddy. I do not know who's number one because I kind of think that women talking isn't going to win this category.
I kind of think so too. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this. Jessie Buckley and Claire Foy are both really good in it, but neither one of them is like obviously better than the other. Okay, it's like up to personal opinion.
And,
so that's
and
number one.
And typically, when we get two nominees in the same category and one of them wins, it's usually kind of obvious.
Yeah, or like the other one comes along and it's a surprise that they even get nominated. Like The Favorite. Well, I guess like Rachel Weisz would have won if they
But
had
it was
to pick
so
one.
it was so close.
But it was pretty close. And then The Irishman. Actually, people didn't really know.
Well, that was really a year where it was like a no-brainer who was out front. But like some people are saying, actually, I think it's Jessie Buckley, not Claire Foy. Like if pundits don't know who to put at number one,
I think more
how the
people
fuck
think Jessie
are people
Buckley
gonna
than-
figure it out?
than Claire Foy, though.
really?
I think so.
According to what? Gold Derby says Jessie Buckley, but I think they had her ahead like for a long time. It could be Jessie Buckley and not Claire Foy. It could be Claire Foy. But if we're thinking about alternate options here, who else could win? Could Carey Condon win for Banshees of Inisherin? That movie, we're predicting to get a whole lot of nominations, and are we really saying it doesn't win any?
I think that could win. I think it's possible, especially like when you consider who could win. Why would you say she can't? I think with Banshees being so strong, she's nearly a lock to get nominated.
She's new to people for the most part, and her performance is really funny, but it's not, I don't know, it didn't feel like the kind of performance that quite wins, but she does have like a lot of big scenes.
The point is there's no perfect winner here. Like even if let's say Jessie Buckley starts sweeping, like does that make sense to me? Does it really make sense? Like I still don't even know.
Yeah, with you can really feel the absence left by Michelle Williams here.
I guess it would make sense if Jessie Buckley won.
Or Claire Foy, but it's too even. How are you going to get people to rally behind one of the women talking?
One of them just starts winning more awards, like just kind of in the same way that Rachel Weisz started winning more than Emma Stone. I'm also toying with the idea of Hong Chow maybe being able to win for The Whale.
A lot of people are toying with this. A lot of people are saying this. I feel like it's kind
because
of
she
like
holds her own and she has a meaty role and she has like 2 Oscar scenes that are, quite long and a little bit showy.
And she also is the least divisive thing about the movie.
I mean, look at this. Some people have said that she's better than Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I think that's weird.
Some people think she is the best in the movie because they like the kind of acting she's doing. I think she actually might be...
I don't know, man.
Because look, The Whale, we both think it's getting nominated.
To me, this is like when people said, hey, maybe Olivia Colman will win for The Father. And it just didn't feel right to me to say that.
That's true. That's true. We have like a Troy Kotzer or Jung Yoon where it's like, okay, well, if this gets nominated, then I want it to win. Like, do we have that?
I don't know.
I don't even think we have that.
I mean, I would vote for Stephanie Sue if it were up to me out of these 5. But would Stephanie Sue win? Like, I don't know. It feels like she is less likely to be nominated. And so if I were to say that she's a winning possibility, I would need to see her become a real lock and start winning Critics Awards. And honestly, the reason why I do have Stephanie Sue in is because I think she will win some awards. Like, I think she's going to do really well with critics nominations and everything, because how could she not?
I mean, I could see her doing like okay and not like surprising.
She has an Oscar scene.
Yeah.
She does, a lot of shit.
She's not in it that much in the first half, but she's in it a lot in the second half. So
Mahershala Ali
and
Anne Hathaway were not in the last 2/3 of their movie and they still won. None of these performances that I've seen have been like, oh, that could win. So it's going to go to something that doesn't make 100% sense. Yeah. But I can make a little sense out of everybody in a way.
Yeah.
So this race could be a total toss-up. It'd be exciting if it was really ambiguous. I feel like the unanimous Claire Foy thing has started to dissipate, and people are like, I'm not sure about that. And
I mean, I think
elsewhere.
a lot of people are looking out for one of the women talking women to be snubbed. And
that's also a possibility that I have thought about.
That's the scary thing. Like one of them could leapfrog the other. Claire Foy, it's hard to see her not getting nominated though, because she has like a couple really Oscar-y scenes. And there's one in particular that's like, it's hard to leave her out.
What about Carey Mulligan though? Like,
yeah, a lot of people are going to be like, wait, isn't that a no-brainer? Okay, well, watch the movie and then we'll see. Like, see if you think the same thing after you watch the movie. I mean, she's obviously in it a lot. I didn't watch the movie thinking about her as supporting. I thought she's just a lead, and I thought, oh, she won't be nominated for lead for that. Like, even if this movie did really well, like, it's kind of hard for me to see her getting nominated there.
I did kind of try to think of it through that lens when I was watching it, though. I feel like in the beginning, there's more stuff going on with her character. And the thing is, to me, that she doesn't have that strong of, like, an arc. Carey Mulligan does kind of have the screen time. She has a couple scenes, like the one where she tells off the guy at the bar.
Part of the problem is she doesn't feel that memorable. The character is not really there. It's not that distinct. She's just kind of being Carey Mulligan. She's a little bit, the same, and she does a lot of listening in the film, and actually everybody who she's talking to is giving a better performance because their lines are better. Like Zoe Kazan too is like the same good.
The point of She Said is it deflects the attention off the people doing the work. It's like not trying to be about the journalists themselves and their thing. It's like about them being vehicles for other people to speak.
Yeah.
It's
like, don't look at me. I'm just a vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, she does a good job for the movie. But it's not that... It's hard to see passion around that performance. Who's gonna say, like, oh my god, that performance in that movie was phenomenal. Give her an Oscar, or like get her a nomination. I guess a couple people who like love the movie. I don't know. I mean, most people, I feel like, are just gonna be like, yeah, She Said was a good movie. Good performances all around. Carey Mulligan good in it. She's good in a lot of things too.
I'm not gonna say it's impossible that like She Said becomes kind of in there for Best Picture and she wins. I would just think it was such a weird thing to happen.
Especially if She Said's in for Best Picture and Screenplay, then Carey Mulligan going along feels like it rounds out the package. But again, I could just see it getting Best Picture and Best Screenplay.
So Nina Hoss feels like
Nina Hoss could get nominated.
That she may get just a BAFTA, maybe she gets just a nothing, and then so Oscar morning surprise.
There's always that little fun surprise nugget on Oscar morning, and she feels like she's poised for that.
Yeah, she feels like that could happen for her, but I do feel like she's a little bit light on screen time and moments. She has a moment, but I feel like there should have been maybe one more. But she is really well respected too. She's very well respected German actress. Is Jamie Lee Curtis number 8?
Like, you could put her there because of who's below her.
So listen, we need to talk about the Jamie Lee Curtis thing that happened, where everybody had already seen the movie, and then everybody decided that she was actually up here, and it was like, wait a minute, you just decided that?
The reason?
I know, because she said, "Hey everybody, I want a nomination. That'd be awesome. Thanks so much. I'm Jamie Lee Curtis. You all love me, and I'm promoting my movie Halloween, but I'm also in Everything Everywhere." And everyone said, fuck it, you can have a nomination. Let's go. And to me, I'm kind of like, not at the expense of Stephanie Sue, bro. Like, if you take down Stephanie Sue, I'm gonna be mad at you. So I feel like it's weird, and I don't want it to happen. But then there's the Judi Dench thing that happened last year that makes people like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I have seen people put her at number 1 because they don't know what to do here, and they think, well, it would be fun if we gave Jamie Lee Curtis an Oscar. And I agree, that would be fun. It would also be fun to have Barty come to my birthday, but he's not invited.
We could invite, but I could make that happen. Like, I could call Barney and like pay him.
Nothing I said made sense. That wasn't supposed to be thought about. I love her in this movie. I love what she's doing.
But would you nominate her?
I don't know if I would give her a nomination for it. The 3 other performances I feel stand out above hers. If they nominated her, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, but would you?
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
At the expense of Stephanie Sue.
Then I would complain.
Which I feel like it could.
Yeah, right. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't see like a double nomination in this category for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
But like, what if she gets SAG or something?
And just because she's like, I want one. Yes, me, please. Like, just because you're at a concert and you're going, yeah, they don't like necessarily blast a shirt at you. Like, you're just someone in the audience doing this. Are people going to be like, I like this actress, I will vote for her, I don't care what she is in? Like, no, they're going to nominate the performances that they love.
Also, I know we all have PTSD, but not every year is going to have Judi Dench in Belfast happen to Katrina Balfe. Yeah. Like, I'm just saying. Dolly DeLeon, I don't really believe in it without the movie so much, but there is buzz for her, and they are kind of campaigning her. Like, they're getting her out there, which is great. Janelle Monáe and Glass Onion. Like, if the movie got in picture, I would think sure, but I don't think it's going to get that far, like we said.
And again, it's like, it's a really fun performance. But like, fun don't necessarily get you nominated.
She's not exploring like the depths of like, you know, human behavior or anything like that.
Her son didn't like get hit by a truck.
Angela Bassett. People think that this can happen now.
Not with the movie not getting nominated. That's all I'm going to say. You think that's going to be the first acting nomination for a Marvel film? No, not when the movie's not getting nominated for Best Picture.
No.
Come on.
I think even if the movie was nominated, it could struggle. Also, having seen the movie, the answer is no. She doesn't have enough screen time. Let's just put it that way. The answer is no. Tusa Mubedu, that really is not going to happen without the Woman King getting nominated in picture. And now that I'm so doubtful about that, then I'm so doubtful about this.
She's great, though. I really would like to see that.
Someday, I think she'll get nominated because she's going to have a lot of stuff to do. Actually, she's going to have kind of a weird career because she's like 30, but she looks young enough to play teens. Like, I don't know what is going to happen now. Supporting actor, Ke Huy Quan, Everything Everywhere. So many people want it to happen.
I think
so many people want it to happen, and he does enough. He does enough. The character is memorable. The character is important. He makes you cry. This is what gets you as a supporting actor Oscar. That's what gets you the Oscar. Did anybody else captivate the audience in such a way in this category? Because I don't think so. I don't think so.
More portrayals of this type of masculinity, please. That's going to be a lot of fun if that happens.
When he gives his whatever awards show his first speech, people are going to go, ah. I like that.
Yeah.
Like the second that Troy Kotsur got on a stage, people were like, "Ooh, we can do that. We can do that." And that's what's going to happen to him. I think Brendan Gleeson, I just didn't see that the performance is like the kind of thing that wins because he's not like capturing your heart. He's just a very cold character. You touch him and he just feels like stone and steel. And I think that's not the type of performance that wins. Now, you could say villains win a lot, but villains are like you touch him and it's fire and you go, "Ouch, hot." But he's just somewhere in between where it's like, oh, you're not.
You're great like, in it though.
What's going on?
He's so pitch perfect.
Yeah, I'm not dissing it at all. I think he's great. He'll get nominated. There's a lot of love there, and it's his first nomination. It's been wonderful. I think Ke Huy Quan is the stronger like passion around that, and I think that even if Everything Everywhere ended up not being able to win other awards, that he actually would still win.
In the unfortunate scenario that Everything Everywhere doesn't win, this could stay its only win. Like kind of Boyhood.
I was going to say. Ben Whishaw in Women Talking. I guess I wouldn't call him a lock, but I feel like he does a lot in a movie that's getting nominated for Best Picture, and he cries a fuck ton. He's a very emotional boy. Also, more portrayals of that type of masculinity, would you say?
Yep. Yeah, some alternative masculinity.
What about Barry Keoghan? What about that type of masculinity? Is that...
Well, some would argue toxic masculinity, but really I'd say he comes across as more desperate and sad.
Paul Dano, he's quite soft.
Yeah, but it's sort of like stern, classic masculinity though. You could harken it back to the days of Jimmy Stewart.
Barry Keoghan though, some people may be surprised that he's on here because a lot of people are like kind of toying with the idea, but I kind of did a zoom into the future, and what did I see when I had my little brain blast? I saw like, we were like, oh, I don't know if he's getting nominated. I don't know. We say that until it starts happening. And at the end of the day, I think that he's more likely at the Oscars.
Wait, I'm like just registering that you have two Banshee Boys.
Yeah, because Barry Keoghan's gonna. I feel convinced he's gonna happen. If not at the Golden Globes, if not at the SAGs, if not the BAFTAs.
Well, so the Oscars here's something interesting. Like that I feel is culminating around how everybody's talking about his performance. They're like, okay, here we go again. Barry Keoghan gives another great weirdo performance. Whatever he's doing, we want more of this. We like it a lot. That's actually not a bad narrative, and everybody is just aware of what he does.
He's also kind of showy. He gets a lot of laughs. There are some people who would probably argue that he's like as good, if not better, than Brendan Gleeson.
And then I said this too, that he could get BAFTA.
Jesse Plemons in Power of the Dog did less, I would say. Like, the other thing is that Barry Keoghan, I think, does enough. The only reason people don't think he's getting nominated is because they're too focused on Brendan Gleeson.
He's just in the movie less.
Yeah, but he has scenes where he steals the show, and he's just so funny.
That would be a good nomination, and this category is not that insane. That's the thing.
And why is Paul Dano here? I do not know if this is a thing to go off of, but the Fablemans released their FYC campaign thing, and it was Paul Dano, Seth Rogen, Judd Hirsch. Now, I don't know if that's actually I think it's a little bit sometimes the way that the order that they campaign it. Well, it could be by screen time or billing order or something like that, maybe. But either way, Paul Dano does have the most screen time. And he is Paul Dano. He's kind of overdue. He's kind of been on the radar for 15 years.
I don't know if I feel that strongly, like, in love with this performance.
I think
you don't
he's
think
like
that people
good
have to
enough.
do that? It does happen a lot in films where like you're just good enough and you get nominated.
And he had enough screen time, I thought. I thought he had enough moments. He's just subtle in the moments and he's just being kind of like Paul Dano. But I think there's enough there. Like the fact that Paul Dano needs a nomination at this point. He's in one of the biggest contenders and he has enough screen time. Like, is that enough? I think it's kind of enough. Judd Hirsch, on the other hand, he's explosive in his, 9 minutes. But like Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza, maybe that doesn't quite pan out in a nomination. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I still have a hard time like seeing which one is over the other. That might be something we don't know until the very end.
And what happened to Brad Pitt for Babylon? All right, here's what happened to Brad Pitt for Babylon. This is based off the assumption that the Angelina Jolie stuff is going to hurt him. Because I think in any other circumstance, he would easily be nominated for this performance. He is an actor who's been nominated a lot. He's won. It's going to be extraordinarily big. He's going to have lots of screen time.
So you're telling me if there were no scandal, you would have him at
number 3. This is a hard thing to predict. Like, say he gets a Golden Globe nomination or Critics' Choice nomination. When he gets put on that pedestal, people will throw things at him and attack that choice. By the time you get all the way to the Oscars, they're going to know what happens when you nominate him. They're going to say, well, this is what happened when the Golden Globes did it, and that wasn't good. I don't know how to factor that in. Maybe voters don't really care. Maybe voters are very comfortable separating the art from the artist.
Well, I think every voter has a different opinion on that. So I think there's a lot of people who cannot do that. They just feel like it is morally wrong to vote for a performance if it's someone who did something that they don't like. And then there's other people who don't really have a problem with that. Probably, I would guess like at least 30% of people would be uncomfortable voting for someone if they knew they did something pretty bad.
It's really hard to tell because I don't think that you've had quite a comparable situation. Like James Franco, Disaster Artist, like I think that
was comparable.
It was comparable, but he also was a little iffy just on the fact that was like a comedic performance. Like
I don't think so. He got nominated everywhere for that.
Eddie Redmayne in The Good Nurse. I feel like he could get something.
Yeah.
Like Jared Leto in The Little Things.
I don't think he's going to get the Oscar, though.
No.
It could be SAG or it could be, I don't know. Maybe
Golden
SAG.
Globe, Critics' Choice, weirdly enough.
He's actually really good in The Good Nurse.
People are looking at the clip of him going, I can't. And they're saying, oh, you think that acting is yelling. And it's like, that's the one time he yells in the movie. And
there's nothing wrong with people yelling on screen. Okay?
But it's also like,
the
performance like builds to that point.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you can't just judge it based on the clip. Like, I thought he was good in the movie.
Yeah.
You gotta chill out. And he seems like really fucking nice. Like, leave him alone. Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway. It's like a thing that I think critics groups could get behind a little bit. I would love it to happen. It's deserving, but I just don't think the movie's gonna have the momentum or the campaign.
I think like everything from here down is like just not.
I don't know if none of it's like,
well, what
Mark Rylance Bones and all is a fascinating thing that I don't think is impossible.
Well, I didn't see it yet.
He's fucking weird as shit in it, and it's really funny and amusing. And he's got like 3 key scenes in the movie that are very memorable, and he's a lot in them. Tenoch Huerta, Wakanda Forever. Hearing a lot of buzz about this performance, but I don't think ultimately it's gonna happen. Ben Foster in Emancipation. Like, we don't know. The Armageddon Time, no one went to see that shit. Nobody went to see it. It's just a nothing. It's a non-starter. Zlatko Buric in Triangle of Sadness, I think, is deserving more so than Woody Harrelson. Even Seth Rogen, The Fablemans, like, what if he like weirdly comes up? That'd be kind of weird, but I don't think it's like quite impossible. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
Which actors will you support?